No, everybody liked Coventry, I don't know of anybody who didn't like Coventry. Well, I mean, like, it's like, what's not to like? It had a lot of really good features and really, no terrible features. Like I say, even the Hell's Angels, stayed out of everybody's hair, and there wasn't any trouble. They built like these like bleachers or something, these seats. That was, the corner of Euclid Heights and Coventry. And kids would just go sit there, and talk. People, play their radios and tune it into other stations, Boy, they used to be full on a Sunday, too. I mean, it was a nice scene. It was a peaceful scene. An interracial scene, There wasn't, there wasn't very much violence. Aside from what I told you about that guy getting shot behind the Seesaw Bar. And, yeah, well, they had the street fair. That was a huge thing. They had that for several summers. They had the street fair, and tens of thousands of people would come up. I mean, it was mob. They'd block off the street, and it was immense, huge success in terms of, like the amount of people that came in and things like that. But I guess it got too big for them to handle or something, the cops or something. So now they break it up into some smaller, some smaller fairs that they have, a few of a year. Coventry Books. Oh, yeah. Coventry Books was established on Coventry by three guys. Or, no, it was Ellie Strong. It was one of the best bookstores in the city. They had a nice variety of things and stuff. It was a big store, too. They had a lot of books. And, the people that worked there, they knew their stuff. Well, for a long time, I was a real active and critical reader. I mean, I would, like, read all the, I'd take the history of literature, and I divide it up, like, into periods, And I'd read about 17th century England, and I'd read about 17th century France and stuff. And I really wanted to build myself a solid base. So, I knew what I was talking about, because then I started writing literary criticism as well. And I got to be a bigger and bigger book collector. And my book collection is still largely intact, although, there's so much junk laying around that. At the time it was in business, it was one of the better stores, around, and I used to go in there. And I guess I got stuff from there, sure. Like if I would go down to Coventry and, I didn't want to wait at Tommy's a real long time, I'd go to the Inn on Coventry. That was a good place. It was just the food was good. I liked the way they cooked it. And most people liked that restaurant. Is it still there?
Yeah.
The guy that owned this building was an Indian guy, and for a while he had an Indian restaurant in here. It was really good, and it was like, it was really, compared to what Indian food is fairly expensive. But this guy's place was dirt cheap, and it was good food.
Do you remember what it was called?
No, I don't. Yeah, I like Indian food. I hardly like anything, but I do like Indian food. Turkey Ridge? It was like, it was a relatively upper-class eating establishment. And, yeah, I mean, it wasn't a hangout. I mean, a lot of older people went there. And, also, the kind of guys that go in the sports bars to go in there.
So when did you come, when exactly did you come to Cleveland Heights area?
1970, wait a minute. Yeah, 1972.
Did people ever get together and talk about what was going on in Coventry, the way things were changing with the groups moving in? Or
Yeah, yeah. People were always, wherever you are, people talk about the neighborhood they live in. And,
Oh, it's the library. Did you ever
Yeah.
go to Coventry Library?
once in a while,